Hey, my name is Imran and today we are going to work on a very interesting topic which is ChatGPT. Everybody is using ChatGPT with official website and playing with it, also getting useful content. But today our goal is to use API of ChatGPT and then we will be creating an app for a specific purpose like the prediction of sentiment using the text data. We can train a machine learning model for prediction of sentiments, but let's use API of ChatGPT and do the same work. Let me just show you that how we can get the API from OpenAI. You can click on the API and then you can log it. You can create your account on it and then you can go in the login. So I have registered my email, so I'm going to continue. Okay, so after that you can click on it and you can click on view API keys. So you can click on create new secret key and you will get the API key. That will be a string of numbers, so you can use that for creating any app and you can use the services of ChatGPT. But the APIs are not free. In the start they give you $18 as a trial version, and after that they will be asking you to add your account for further services of ChatGPT. So let's get started for that, how we can call the API and how we can implement. I'm going to use Jupyter Notebook. Alright, so I will create a new folder here, and here is the folder and I can rename it as ChatGPT App. So we can go inside and we can create a Jupyter file. So in the start I'm going to import the library which is OpenAI. And then I need to import another library which is Flask, because we are going to create a simple web application where we will be using this ChatGPT API and we will be getting the services, and I will be showing you that how ChatGPT can work for the text prediction. From Flask import Flask redirect render template request and URL. Alright, so it is saying that Flask is not installed because Flask is installed on my computer, but that is installed on another environment. So let me just install it. I'm just acting my GPU environment, and here I can say in pip install Flask. Alright, so library is installed. When I will run it, there will be no any issues. Okay, perfect. So now I can start creating the instance of Flask. So say app is equal to Flask name. So here we created the instance of Flask class, and after that we can call the API of OpenAI. So I will be calling OpenAI API key, and then we will be saving API key here. I will be adding the API key here because that is confidential. So now we are going to create a training data, same like we do in machine learning, where we collect the information of input data and also we collect the output data, and we train on machine learning algorithms for the predictions. So we train them and then we get the prediction on real time after deploying the model in real life, or also we can use the weights of the machine learning algorithms and we can get the predictions. So let's make data for the chat GPT. So we will be feeding that data to the prompt of chat GPT, and chat GPT will understand that prompt and we will be getting the sentiments of the text data. So I'm going to write a function def, and I say that training data, and I will be feeding data here, and we will return the prompt text to the ChatGPT. Please predict text as positive or negative. I'm going to say that text is you are a man, sentiment is negative, text is you are a good man, positive. Okay, so now we are going to say that if there will be the input data from the user which will be fed with the data, and we will return, and the chat GPT will return sentiment as format, and format will be the data which will be capitalized. Alright, so now what we did, actually we created a function with the training name. We are feeding the data which is coming here, which will be entered from the user, and we are saying that please predict text as positive or negative, and we are giving some examples. If there is a sentence, then the sentiment is negative, and if the text is this, then the sentiment is positive, and if the text will be from the user, then sentiment will be getting from the chat GPT. Alright, so now we are going to start the app. So we are calling app dot root, and we will be calling the methods, and the methods are post and get and post. Alright, so our app will start from the root, and we will be getting the methods get and post, where we will be sending the data to HTML page, and then we will be feeding that data to the chat GPT, and we will be getting the sentiments. So I'm going to write a function with the name of index, and here I am going to tell that if request method is post, then data will be request dot form data. So from where this data will be coming, for this we need to write a HTML code where we will be getting the data from the user. So we will be getting the data by using the request, and that data will be coming from that HTML page. So let me just write the HTML page for you so that you can understand that how we will be getting the data. So I'm going to write the HTML code in the Notepad++, because I'm not a web developer, but I'm going to create a very simple page which we can use for the user entry, and then we will be feeding that data to the ChatGPT API, and we will be getting the response. Okay. Alright, so here we can write the HTML code. First we can select the language, like we wanted to write HTML. Okay, and here we will be saying that the doc type is HTML, and then we will start from the head, and in the head we will set the title of the tab ChatGPT app. so it's closed, and also heading is closed. Alright, so after that we are going to write the body. So in the body we will be getting the user input. Before starting the form, we are going to create a heading, and we can say that chat GPT app by using API services from openai, and then we can close it. Alright, so now we can start the form. So we can say form, and we will be adding the action, and the method will be post, because we wanted to post that result to the Flask application. So we can start with the input, and type will be text, and we can also name this as data. So this data variable will be calling in our code here by using the request. So we will be getting this input data of user from this form, and we will be getting in the data. So let me just complete the code. So placeholder will be, like we can say that please enter text here, and we can say that required. By using required, it will be getting the text, otherwise we can't submit that empty. Alright, so we are going to use another input type, and it will be submit. Alright, and then we wanted to set a value, and value will be submit data, and that's it. After that we can close the form as well. Alright, so we can save this code, and we can save here, and we can create a new folder, templates. In the templates we can save this file with the name as index. Alright, so now we will call openai, and we will be feeding the data to the openai, and we will be getting the results. So we can say response, and response will be calling from the openai, and we will be calling completion dot create, and we will be feeding some parameters. The first one is model. So model, what kind of model we wanted to use from the ChatGPT. So the best model of ChatGPT is DaVinci 003 text DaVinci. So we are going to use this model, and then we are going to feed the prompt. Prompt is actually a text which you feed on their website as well, like you write something on the ChatGPT website and you get the results. So I'm going to call this function, which is training data, and here I'm going to feed the data, this data which we will be getting from the user, and you can see that we are feeding the data as a parameter to this function. Alright, so next parameter is temperature. So temperature will be 0.1. So what is temperature? Temperature is also a parameter in OpenAI, which we said that how many returns we wanted to get. On the low temperature you get the repeated answers, but on the high temperature you get results every time different, and also the range of temperature is from 0 to 1. All right, and after that we are going to return the results from this response. So we say that return, and we will redirect the results of this OpenAI, and we will be calling url4, and in the URL we will be calling the index, and we will be saying that result will be response, which we will getting the API, and here response dot choices, and on the choice we will get the first choice, and that will be a text. Okay, so we will be redirecting the results of this OpenAI, and then we will be getting the result by using the request.arg arguments.get, and get will be the results. So this result will be given here by using the request, and then we will return the result to the HTML by using return render template, and we will return index.html, and also another parameter which is result, and result will be result. So this result will be sending to this HTML code. So to receive this result we need to write some code in the HTML code. So let me just write here some code to get that result, and we will be printing that result on the same HTML page. So we can call if result will be that, then we will make a div, and class will be results, and we can print the result simply by saying result, and we close the div as well, and then we can end the if condition, and if alright, so we save it. So when we call this redirect page, we will be getting the result here in this variable. So we are sending this variable to this index HTML page again, and this result will be printing here. Okay, alright, so now we need to call the app, and we need to run the app. That's very easy. You can call if name will be equal to main, and then you can call the app, and also on the runtime you wanted to debug that app, then you can pass a parameter debug is equal to true. If there will be any error, the app will not stop. Okay, so I'm just going to run it. We need to put double equal sign, you can see that there is an error. Why there is error? Because we are running on the Jupyter notebook, because such kind of code we can't run on Jupyter notebook. For that we need to use .py file, but we can use another library and we can do the same work. werkzeug.serving, and we can import run simple. Alright, so we can call run simple, and we need to feed some parameters. The first one is where we want it to run. We want it to run on a local host, and then what will be the port number of that local host. Like we are running right now on local host with 888, but we can set any kind of number like 300, and then you can also set 8888, one more 8, because we can't use tetra 8 because already that port is running. Okay, and after that we need to put the app, our app. Okay, so if I will click on it, alright, so you can see that we created a title, we created input box, and we also created a button for submitting the data. If I will submit that, the result should be positive, but we will not be getting the results because still I did not added the API of ChatGPT. But let me just show you, if I run it, we are getting the internal server error because I did not set the API of ChatGPT here. So I need to add the API, and then I will run again. So I will be getting the results. Let me just stop the video and add the API, and then I will show you that we will be getting the results. I added the API of the ChatGPT, and now I'm just going to restart it, and I'm going to run all the cells, and you will see that we will be getting the results. Let's see. Okay, we don't need this code anymore. So when I will click on it and I will call I'm doing good, submit the data, we are getting error again. But let me just check that what is the issue. So there is capitalize. Okay, so we created a training function, so we were calling capitalize, but the spellings are not correct. So let me just correct it. So it should be CAP capitalize. Okay, so I'm just going to save it, and I will restart, and then I will run all again. Alright, so I'm doing good. We are getting the error again, so let me just check that, because we are debugging here and we can check that what is the issue. Okay, so the issue is unrecognized argument, which is temperature. Okay, so it should be, this should be correct names of the arguments. We are using openai and we need to put correct spellings of the arguments. So let me just restart it again one more time, and I'm going to run all. I'm doing good, submit it, positive. Okay, and if we say anything else, like, so the response is positive, and if we say that get out from here, so it should be negative. You can see that it's negative. We are working fine here. You are wasting time because that was abusive, that is why it's negative. Amazing. So we can get the sentiments by feeding the text to the ChatGPT API, and we can get the best results as positive or negative. We also do the same work by training the machine learning algorithms, but here we are simply using the API and we are getting the sentiments. That's great. But you can do many other things like text summarization. You can work like classification, you can do the translation, you can do many things. If you like my work, please subscribe my channel so I will be motivated and I will be creating more useful content like this. Thank you very much.